Hi, this is Arun from arunsyoga.in. I'm a software engineer who mostly work with Node.js, PHP, and other backend technologies. And I'm an open source contributor as well. I'm a tantric by birth in a family which is passing tantric wisdom from generations to generations from past 2000 years of legacy, and got lucky to travel across India and got chances to study under various gurus from different backgrounds and disciplines. You could connect with me in arunsyoga.in. Here I'm helping you to design a divine lifestyle which is based on Vedic astrology, tantra, and other yogic system of understanding. Hello and welcome to another episode of Iron's Yoga Podcast. Today's podcast, we are having a guest. Her name is Kristna Saikia. She is an actress, model, entrepreneur, and meditator who promotes mindfulness and meditations across the globe. This particular podcast, she is speaking about her self discovery journey as an actress who turned to be an entrepreneur, writer, then mindfulness meditator. You could connect with her via her website www.KrisTiNA SAIKIA.net. Again, www.KrisTiNA SAIKIA.net. So let's begin our next episode of podcast, self discovery and being comfortable in body and nudity with Christina. So, hi all. Today we have a very particular guest. She's from India, and right now she is traveling across the globe, and she has done a couple of movies and modeling, and wrote a couple of books, things like that. And Christina, tell us, where did all these things are started? Why did you, what is the story is all about? Where are you heading? And where you comes from, and why you are doing this, and what change that you want to see in society?
Okay. Thank you, Arun, for giving me an opportunity to be part of your this program. And you're doing great. I've seen your channel, and the subjects you talk about is very metaphysical, very spiritual, very holistic, and wellness. Okay. So, um, start with how I started my journey. It started long ago. My father actually started my journey when he took me to Buddhist monasteries and to witness silence among the monks when they used to meditate, So that has been a great journey. Initially, I didn't know what the uh, monks were doing at the age of four, 4.5, I guess. And but when I started the entire thing, I just started being among the monks, and that shifted. Something shifted inside me, and one fine day, I just went deep within. I just sat down at that age, and when the monks were meditating in the monastery, and then that journey started. Maybe it was already there within me, and I attracted my parents in such a way they were very spiritual. I'm starting this episode, this interview from spirituality, and because your channel is like that. So that's how my journey towards spiritual life started, and maybe that awareness was already there. And then the I started acting from a very early age in theaters, plays. Then radio happened after I completed my journey in Delhi for 10 months. But when I was in my school and college, my shooting, shooting was always going on. And my parents, my family members, and then my friends, teachers, everybody were very, very supportive of me. And now a lot of people whom I don't even know, my fan followers, have been very supportive. So during my study and during my what I'll say, uh, my shootings, it can be for films, it can be for modeling. Everything was going on simultaneously, and that had been a great journey. And I wanted to be an astronaut when I was kid in the school, and then I did some great plays in school, and one day my college superintendent told that, Christina, I think you can act. And that moment my entire journey shifted, and I started trusting myself. And I always thought I don't know anything to do in my life besides acting. Maybe acting is only the talent I have got. So I told my mom that I want to be an actor and actress. So my mom was like, "Are you sure? Because the path is very challenging, And I said yes, and that's how the journey started. She told my dad, and they invested money to bring me in front of the camera, and that's how it was never looking back. And I love to travel. Traveling has always been part of my life. My spirit maybe is very adventurous because I never stayed in the same school, same hostel, or same place. I mean, like, I was always from one place to another, one city to another, then one country to another. And I think traveling regenerates me and gives me a lot of life to my spirit. It's very, very interesting. It's sometimes very challenging also, because you don't know what you're meeting in the path. But I choose a path where I come to know about people's story, because I'm a writer and an author. And now, so I like stories, and I like to meet people. I like to listen to their stories. And as a writer, as an actor, it helps me a lot when I meet different kind of people, and I just become an observer. Doing meditation has really helped me to be an observer, not to react. Yeah, if required, to respond towards it, but just to be an observer. So it has been a very interesting journey. Now I have decided that I should be a global traveler. I should be a full-time traveler. So, and being an actor, it really helps me, because actress life is very interesting. We don't stay in the same with the same people. We work with different production houses, play different roles, and it's never the same. The entire process of journey is very creative, and every moment you don't know what is going to happen. So that creative process, that adventurous process of life intrigues me a lot. And yes, I'm coming up with 3 books, and out of that I would love to tell more about I'm a $1 billion star, feel wealthy, to your question. And that book is all about living life from wealth consciousness. It can be yourself, self love, that's very important.
Can I pursue there? Like, please bear me for a moment. Like, we will actually come to your book once we actually gone through the journey of you as being an actress and doing modeling for different films and things like that. We would like to know about your spiritual journey. Like, are you really discovering yourself? Oh, this is what I am, when you are doing the modeling. And the entire process of the spiritual journey is actually to explore ourselves and to see what we really are. So this is like a reflection.
Yeah.
So this is the entire science of spirituality is out there. And especially when I do the work which is related to tantra, and there is a lot of energy work is being involved, like past life therapy, spiritual healing, tarot reading, and also the astrological understanding of the self and things like that. So the entire So the entire
Okay.
process of this thing is to discover ourselves. The entire spiritual science is actually helping us to discover and rediscover our own self and evaluate ourselves. So by staying into that kind of perspective or that kind of understanding, uh, how do you see your acting career or modeling career, especially you do the nude modeling for different companies out there?
Art.
Yeah, nude arts.
That's very. I'll talk about fine art news because that has been one of my forte, and I'm very interested in that form of artwork. I'll tell you, to come back from acting and modeling is, as I told you, the journey just started very early age. I always thought to be an astronaut, and I'm very fascinated by the space, by sky, and by what's happening beyond the sky. Actually, I'm still, and I do support space tourism a lot, like Elon Musk and all are coming up right now. So I really like it, like Richard Branson. They are taking so much of initiative towards the space. And but what happened, I also love to act when I was kid. And when my teacher told me, Christina, I think you can act, and then that's a moment when my life shifted. So modeling and acting never stopped. I have always been part of the media. They were always covering me, putting me on magazine covers, and then slowly I discovered that I love to write. And when I started my meditation, there were a lot of downloading of wisdom happening. A lot of things were coming to me, and I wanted to write, I wanted to put out to the world. And that's how the journey as a columnist started for various media platforms across the globe. It can be newspapers, magazines, or whatever way. I wanted to write and used to get published, and my pictures used to get published at the same time, and still it's happening right now. So I usually write on wellness and spirituality, and then mind, body, soul healing, and fashion, lifestyle, whatever it comes to me. And I don't just keep myself like, very bordered that I should only write about this thing. But sometimes I do quantum jumping also. If I'm writing something on wellness, maybe I'm writing something sometimes on very high fashion or something else on beauty, organic beauty, or on food. Whatever comes to me, I usually write at that moment, and I publish it in different platforms. So the whole journey as an actor and a model has been without planning. I was very interested with the camera. I love the camera. Uh, I love performing arts. So it just happened. I wanted to be there, and I'm there, in this profession. And now, how uh, fine art nude happened, fine art nude modeling happened is it happened in a studio, actually. There was a shot where the photographer wanted me to go, the lower part of the body wanted me to go in the very cold ice, I mean, and the upper part of the body, I had to hold a fish, like a fish, and just pose it this way. So they thought, let's do it in a bikini and later on just, edit the whole part. So at that particular moment, I went to a transcendental state, maybe like, complete transcendental state, because my lower part of the body was so cold with so much sacs of eyes. They removed the eyes from the sacs lower, and my body had to go down, and they needed that shot. uh, it was very beautiful. Then suddenly something happened. I just said, no, no, I don't want to wear the bikini. It will look not natural. They said, are you sure? There were a lot of people in the studio. And I said, yeah, sure. What's wrong in that? It's a natural part of the nature, right? What's wrong? And we are creating art. It's aesthetic art. I mean, so I removed the bikini immediately. I took the fish, like, and then I posed the fish covering my breast a little bit, and the lower part of the body, you can imagine, was in the lot of eyes. I just gave beautiful shots. The mudras came out beautifully, the body pushes came out beautifully, and I didn't know whatever I was doing. I was not in my physical body. Let me tell you, I was in the energy body at the time, some other state I was like. And when the director of the photography, he said, okay, we are done for today, cut off, like everything is done. I didn't hear anything, and suddenly I only hear someone's clapping because I was so cold on the lower part of my body that I just lost it. And some people were clapping, I can hear it. They said, oh, well done, and all. Then people came and rubbed my hands and legs because the body was very cold. And later, my cameraman, makeup artist, hairstylist, everybody said, I went to see the shots, and in the morning, like, in the computer, it was so beautifully shot. And then they said to me, KrisTiNA, you need to work on this art. Beautiful forms were coming up. Your hand movements were very beautiful, very graceful. And they said, you know, we think that you should master this art. It is a talent which you didn't know it, and it is there inside you, and it looks very, very aesthetic, very, very artistic. And they of course worked with the lighting part, beautiful lights they have put, because in fine art nudes the lighting plays an important role. And I'm putting a voice to everybody right now. People, actors, models, photographers, cinematographers, even the directors, they can know about this. When you do, you need to have, when you do fine art nudes, it can be cinematic, or it can be as a model, or somebody is modeling in front of you. Make sure that you have a good aesthetic sense and lighting sense. That makes a nude body very, very exotic, very, very artistic, and that separates the portrait from soft porn or porn. So it looks very nice. It's a beautiful subject, like. So this is a little tip I would like to give from the educational point of view, and I will come to my book for that also. The book is related, one of my book is related to that. So it's very, very interesting process. And I went back home. I started doing nude yoga, exercising, meditation in nude. I do teach transcendental nude meditation and soul healing courses, and it's very famous. And I started working on my body movements, more graceful in nude body. And I saw there's a difference, and whatever happened within me in that process, the evolution which happened in me, I saw I was liberated already in this incarnation. I was already a liberated soul. I was not in my mind, not even in my physical body. I was totally a spirit. I'm still a spirit completely, which can take any form I want. So I was always I had a freedom inside me. But that moment, as I was practicing day by day, I still practice right now, day by day, day by day. It's like an onion which you keep peeling off the skin. It's like that. It became better and better and better. Like, I became more better professionally. And I started getting, I never went to any photographer or any director and saying, oh, I can do nude modeling, or I can do nude cinematic moments if required. I never said that. It just came to me because I was getting ready. The universe just sent those people who were aligned to work with me professionally. And I have been very, very lucky to actually get good photographers, very talented cinematographer, very talented directors in my life, who can actually do that kind of art or take my shots very aesthetically. And let me tell you, not photographers can be very good of different genres, but not all photographers can click a aesthetic nude shot, okay, of a nude body, or a cinematographer or a director. They might be fantastic, good, very talented in different genres, but not this genre. That some photographers really have talent from the soul energy, and some have actually practiced it, or yeah, through their experience, they have become better and better, and they have that aesthetic sense within them. They just know it. And that's how the journey is right now.
See, the thing is like,
And
if
let
we,
me tell you,
the thing is like,
yeah.
if we look at on the different temples, especially the Khajuraho temple and things like that, there is nudity is being expressed in a very aesthetical way that could actually transcend the real being of everyone. So that kind of art is actually required a kind of transcendental mind. That is what you are referring to, right?
See, I have done Kama Sutra 3D, the book. I would not say, mm, I would not like to compare with Khajuraho, but that erotica is an art, also, you can say. But Khajuraho is a totally a different subject. So when I talk about nudity, when I talk about nakedness, there's a totally different thing. You know, nudity is an expression of an artist artistically. Okay, so it can be any kind of sensuality. It can be a goddess if a woman is performing in nude as a model for painters or cinematic moments. It's very liberated, very freedom kind of energy about her. I can tell about me, even about man. Let's not put man or woman, anybody it can be, it's like that. But so if you talk about Khajuraho is an, you can say, a Bible, completely of art, about sensuality, or about erotica, about beauty, about a complete sexual Bible. It is like, it's beautiful, Khajuraho. So they have put it in a very liberated way, appreciating the beauty of a man or a woman in nude while performing sexual activities among themselves. It's a complete beautiful saga, you can say. Whereas nudity is not limited to sexuality. Okay, a woman or a man might look very sensual. That's a very part of it, and expressing their sensuality. But at the same time, being nude, I can perform any role. You know, I can just have a coffee right now, maybe talk politics or or talk about sports, anything with you. So nudity has nothing to do with anything. Actually, it is just a part of you where you feel very natural about yourself. You feel very confident. You know your self-worth. You know you're beautiful. You know that I'm the most attractive person in my
So
life. I know that I'm very comfortable.
it's more
Yeah,
about
you
being
should be
comfortable.
comfortable.
It's more about
Comfortable
being
in your
comfortable in the body.
body, in your mind, because everything starts in your mind. Your mind is nude and totally thoughtless, so as you are, I mean, so it has nothing to do with anything. Actually, it just a vessel. Body is just a beautiful vessel, right? And through that vessel you can express anything. It can be art. It can be get when you are intimate with your partner, so you're appreciating the entire process about yourself, about that person. It can be anything. So sorry. So there's a difference between nudity and nakedness. Nakedness is something when a person is totally alone, maybe in the bathroom taking shower, But nudity actually is an artistic expression and belongs to the audience.
Mhm.
It's
And
a completely spiritual process. So
apart
I
from the,
do I nude meditation, transcendental nude meditation, and then I practice meditation in nude. I do exercises and with certain breathing techniques along with it, and that makes my body very flexible.
so after like, you have done something to do with the nude art, then also you have done some movies like especially the movie called Tantrika, and the movies which is being released in different OTT platforms. So how do you see, what was your process when you deeply observe what was that actually happening on you, like For example, now, right now, if you go out or some shopping or whatsoever, hey, look at that woman. I have seen her in nude in that particular platform. How do you? What is that is actually giving the message? How do you feel that is?
Anything. Tantrika was shot in Australia by an Australian production house, which got millions and millions of viewership right now. A great acknowledgement from people, and love to thank all our viewers and our fans who has actually loved our film Tantrika and the entire crew. And or I have done Kama Sutra 3D, Tantrika, or any kind of films projects where sometimes, not always, okay, sometimes the script needs intimate scenes, like, or sometimes requires a kind of a part of nudity or complete nudity, but very aesthetically shot, not necessarily a romantic scene there. So I don't feel anything. I just take as a role and a character, and the script demands it. It's a part of the script, not like, pushing it towards the script, that I make sure what the writer is writing, and I need to understand the psychology of the character, the psychology of the entire story. And then if I think that it is really required, the requirement of the role, then I go to it, and I don't feel anything. It's like a lot of people are around us, it's a serious subjective work going on and serious discussions going on, and a lot of time I have been given the liberty to also direct those scenes of my own role, because the directors I have got, the writers I got, has been very, very supportive, and they trust me. Like, and I have those, technical sense how to shoot it, and I do acting workshops. I teach to people acting, so it's very how to put the whole thing aesthetically, but technical things are there. It's not very fun to do these scenes in front of the camera, because a lot of technical knowledge you need to have, because it's so sensitive. um, Shot little bit wrong, it goes, the body, the entire frame might look very vulgar, and I'm not thinking about myself, I'm also thinking about my co-actor, so we are thinking about the character, we are thinking about the technical. Oh my, like, I'm talking to you, I have to be careful my lights should not fall on me too much. Likewise, I usually take care of my co-actor, or the co-actor is thinking about that, and many other 10 things, so the whole experience of shooting a nude or an intimate scene is very technical on the set. And in fact, today I was connecting in morning one of American Hollywood actor, and he's great in production and the martial art artist, and also tango teacher, and Arjuna tango dance teacher, and bachata and salsa he does. And we were talking about method acting, we were talking about intimate scene, how it is taught in acting schools. It is one of the most tough thing you can say. So coming back to your question, that how do I feel if people see me and oh, she's the girl who did the intimate scene? I don't feel anything. I feel very, very acknowledged, and I feel very, very respected. That if people recognize me and they say, "Oh, KrisTiNA," that's a very great thing for me. They say, "Oh, you did a bold. You're bold enough to do that scene." But for me, it's a natural process. I'm an actor. I might have to do any kind of role, kind of. I've done a serial killer. I have played negative roles. I've played positive roles, and where such scenes are required, playing the lead role. But it doesn't matter for me. I take it
Okay,
naturally as a
let's
compliment.
speak about your acting career. What was the challenging role which you have encountered in your journey of the acting?
I think
Something which is actually in your
most
mind that is actually very,
okay. There was, see, I'll tell you, all the roles I did in my life were actually were part of me, and somewhere not part of me. Somewhere that quality of that role, attributes, the nature of that role was there, somewhere negative or positive inside me, and somewhere not there, which were not there. That was a challenging part, because I have to relate to the qualities and the attributes of that role. All my roles, like I have given my best, and I think I don't act. I become the character. I really don't act. And I'm not a method actor also, like how Amir Khan and all, they do method acting. If required, maybe I'll do it in future. Maybe I did it unawarely, I don't know it, but intentionally I've never done method acting. And one of project was that Dreams Don't Die. It's in YouTube, in my channel also, the clip of the project, where the director wanted me to act exactly how he thought the character would move. And that was very challenging. The whole night he didn't let me doing a 3D shot. That was very challenging because most of the time the director gives a complete freedom, for and to the actor to enact their scene first. Okay, let's see, Christina, how you're doing the scene. They don't direct it sometimes, but this was the role where I had to play the victim as well as the ghost. Like we were facing each other. This is Christina. This is Christina. This Christina is victim. This Christina is the ghost. And that was really tough because he wanted me to play exactly he imagined the character, even the hand movements, yeah, the body language, even the look, the way I look towards that character, that's me, the ghost, or anything. Every movement was exactly he took by my hand and he did it. But that was very tough. And uh, the result came out excellent, so it is okay. I understood one thing. I'm a person who can take complete freedom from my director. If the director says you have a freedom to act or think about the role or design the role as you want it, this is what I have taught. Or I can also be an actor of a director's actor. If a director is telling me like a baby, taking my hand and like, do this way, I can do that also. So that was a great journey. It was very, very tough for me, but it was very interesting. But I've been lucky to have directors in my life who gives me scripts and I can improvise the roles. I can always say in the writing phase, can you add this? But most of the actors don't get that kind of freedom. If you have a good tuning with the writer or director, most actor gets that. But with me, it has always been they have trusted and they said, okay, can I improvise this role this way? Can you add this? Can you remove this part? So my directors has been very, very supportive. Even right now, I'm paying more attention to Hollywood right now. I'm less of doing stuff back home in India. But internationally, the work which I'm doing is very interesting in my life right now. So I'm doing a couple of stuff like Lockhart 2 is a film of Emmy awarded producer. Uh, I'm doing that film. I'm playing a mystic, and I'm just going through the projects which I'm doing right now. Like for films, you want to know, right?
Yeah. And what is the dream role which
Okay.
what is the dream role that you would love to do?
Dream role. I haven't thought about it. Maybe James Bond. I'm really interested in James Bond. I'm telling publicly, See, because Stephen Spielberg, that has been my dream. And I would love to work with James Bond films. I would love to work with Marvel production where they do a lot of science fiction films, and they do a lot of metaphysical, lot of fantasy kind of film. And definitely I would love to do something is doing a lot of magical film projects, like magical TV series in lead, something like that. But roles, I think I would not like to say which role. I think James Bond girl, definitely, yes. This is one of my
007.
plans to come true, kind of.
007, lot of fighting and distribution, things like that. Lot of blast here and
Yes. I
so,
really, really, really.
so let's talk
But
about
I'm
what was
doing,
that?
I mean, doing in various roles, like projects which I have got from Hollywood right now. So they're science fictions, they are fantasy, they're regular films. I mean, like, normal life films also, in important and lead roles, so very mystical roles. So I am about to do now. A lot of preparations are going on, and due to pandemic, sometimes things get delayed because unlike prior pandemic, things were moving very faster. But right now, it is not very fast, but things are moving. So I have different roles right now, and I'm sure that each role I'm going to play would be very close to me and has been very close to me in the past. But definitely telling the audience everywhere, every interview I say that I would love to be part of James Bond film. It's a legacy.
Yeah. So where did you start writing actually? Like you already published 3 books and
Uh, Not published. My book is about to get published. The first one is called "I'm a $1 billion star, feel wealthy."
is that
The
published book?
second book is
The first book is published one, right?
it's about
Okay.
very less work is now, almost like 2 to 3%, not much. The designing is almost getting ready. Today itself, I got the the raw of, but still, always you have to publish your book, all the time something or other mistakes keeps coming and you want to correct it at the last moment. That's what is happening. And the first book is called "I'm $1 billion star, feel wealthy." I'm repeating again. And the second book is "I Am the Princess in Nude." And the third book is it's a feature film actually, which I'll be producing. But we are making a book series. It's called Royal Paradise. And that book is on child bullying and child abusing. Actually, this is a story concept by a gentleman called Priyank Desai from New Jersey. And he gave me this synopsis story about it, that something happened to his life when he was kid. Child bullying happened like when he was like in a very tender age. And then we decided to, we should go ahead with the film making about the story and turning into a horror project. Actually, it's a horror project, very fantasy, very metaphysical, very very magical. And I play a witch, like, it's a double role basically. And then I thought that let's make it as a book, because a lot of people on this planet have gone through child bullying and child abusing in their childhood, and that's a childhood trauma. And when they grow up, that frequency is so messed up inside, it affects their relationship. Though they don't attract very good healthy partners in their life, they don't have a good relationship within themselves, the wound is still there. So then it turns into an adult trauma. So they do attract certain circumstances in their life, in relationships or anything in their life, any situation, which makes them feel not completeness within themselves, or their self-esteem goes down, self-confidence goes down. So those things are there in the book. So coming back to the first book is feel wealthy. I'm a $1 billion star means when you were born and you were in the mother's womb, that is the first time the star was born. It is not like you come out of the womb and all the glitz and glamour you want to have, and then you're a star. No, you were already the star in your mother's womb. So the book is all about how to live life in an abundant consciousness, completely of feeling wealthy within yourself, where you completely accept yourself, who you are, you accept the entirety about you completely. Then whatever you feel inside, it projects outside. If you feel that my health is perfect, I feel so abundant in my body, and I feel totally attractive to myself, I'm beautiful, my skin is good, my hair is great, and like, you feel abundant, then people will look at you that way, right? So you're in the abundant and the wealthy state. And the second thing is about career, finance. It can be relationship. If you have a great relationship with yourself, not like, if you're empty, then you will keep dating 10 people. You will not have a relationship with your family. and not really great relationship with your partner. But if you have a great relationship with yourself, you will always see people very healthily. You will have a healthy relationship in your life. Spiritual evolution is like a spiritual abundance in your life. So the entire process would be in the book is a journey itself, it's an experience itself. So when you keep that book with you and throughout the day, just you can take out any page of the book, you are going to get some kind of practical information out there. And if you implement it, it will transform your life, it will just regenerate you, it will just liberate your mind completely. And keeping the book, because I put certain energies in the books, like a abundant, very wealthy energy, it will really bring a lot of abundance, wealth, prosperity to your life. Okay, so the book is all about that. And yeah, the second book I'll tell you, it's called I Am the Princess in Nude, is on fine art nude, which we had talked right now. So
Hmm.
it is educational. It will be for models, actors, painters, sorry, cinematographers, film directors on a artistic fraternity. But also, this book can be read, and when you read this book, any anyone who is not from the artistic fraternity normally will enhance your self-esteem and self-confidence. When you read this book, you will be able to accept yourself no matter who you are. You might be fat, you might be thin, you might be medium size or whatever. You just accept yourself as you are, and that will liberate you. You will find your personal freedom with that book. So the technicalities of shooting fine art nude is will be there in that book. Beautiful images are there in all my books, actually. The third book, I haven't thought about it, going to put, but first two book, definitely beautiful images are there, shot by various photographers from across the globe. I got very good comment till now on I'm a $1 billion star from lot of successful people from across the globe. And yes, the second book will definitely help you, and I recommend, I suggest that every person should have that book. Very rarely such books are written on this planet, with such a liberation, such a freedom in mind. And I have taken the initiative to write that book. And for artists, it's excellent. You can learn so much from that book about fine art nude and how to perform in front of the camera, how to make your own portrait. And it's very unique. Not everyone has that soul energy or the talent from within to do that, and it shows up in your aura completely, that aesthetic energy. So please take that book, whether you are in this profession or not, but definitely it will help your life, it will help your relationship with yourself, with people around you, your connection towards the world, your perception will shift, as well as you will have a great relationship with your partner too. Because the moment you read this book, you will accept your beauty as you are. You will express your beauty, your sensuality, your charisma, and gracefulness. Be very graceful in life. And a lot of things are there. You love this book.
Okay, let's do a thought experiment today. Okay, so like this is a one KrisTiNA. She is a spiritual KrisTiNA. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Just imagine there is a
Uh,
spiritual KrisTiNA, and there is an actress KrisTiNA, and there is a writer KrisTiNA, and there is a model KrisTiNA. So if we put these four people
okay.
in a single place, what they would be talking each other?
Liberation. One
Like
word, liberation. It can
all
be as
of
an
them,
actress, it
yeah.
can be a spirituality, liberation. Total. Who talks about liberation? When you
So
meditate, you don't have
mhm,
to run after anything in life. You can play all the roles in life in one moment. In your stillness. When
mhm.
I suggest everybody meditate every day, even for 2 minutes, even for 5 minutes, even for 10 minutes. When you meditate, you are in the state of stillness. everything is achievable at that moment. Everything, you don't have to run. You don't have to run after anything. You will be liberated from within. You are with your breath, and then you will just live your life from that moment, completely from now, not in the past, not in the future, from the moment of now. So when you ask me, who is Kristina, as an actor, as a writer, as a spiritual teacher, as a dancer, or whatever, as a healer, I will always say from the point of now, from the point of liberation. Because if I'm then I become, I am not in my physical body, what you're saying, I'm in my energy body always. I go to a director, I'm with a photographer or a painter, I'm like a clay. They direct me any which way, I can just leave. I'm out of my physical body, it's a vessel. I'm like a clay, and they can just make me anything they want to, you know at that time we are under direction, right? Actors and artists are always under the direction of directors, and painters or whoever is imagining us, putting it into a portrait. So in that state of stillness, calmness, and when you are balanced and grounded, you become everything, whoever you want to become. You can shift. And you have to be liberated. The inner part of you has to be like a child, like a very lively child, not the wounded child. And when you are like a child, you can be very vulnerable also. Vulnerability is very good, very appreciated. You're vulnerable, you're expressing yourself, you're in the flow of life, you're not stagnant, you're fearless, always working with your internal fear, which is there inside your subconscious mind. Then you can be anybody, anything, anywhere.
So all these Christinas will speak about the liberation. All four will be
The
having only
moment
one word.
prisoner, who is the prisoner? The mind is the prison,
Mm-hmm.
and you are the prisoner inside the mind, right? Most of
Mm-hmm.
people are still. Maybe I was also somewhere or other. We always have subconscious blocks. But the moment you meditate, the more and more you meditate, you understand everything slowly, slowly, gradually. Maybe in a moment you understand more because sudden enlightenment happens, sudden wisdom comes, and you just know it. You are just a being inside of your light, and you can be anything, anywhere, and tune to any frequency. It's like a radio. You can shift your frequency, like a radio station. You can be anybody, anywhere, whatever, wherever you are required. So I'm not the same person, everywhere. I can be so different from morning and evening, like completely.
So where are we today? Like we can see this very beautiful place. And what is this place
Now,
called?
right now it's night outside. You can't see anything right now. It's very beautiful. The Dubai Expo is there. Please come, everyone, watch it, and please visit it. It's for next 6 months. It's very interesting, and I have met some interesting people in Dubai, and people are very supporting. And let me tell you that I'll be taking initiative, and there are certain collaborations are happening in Dubai too for wellness, meditation, wellness retreats in exotic locations of the world, for ultra high net worth individual community, and it's very, very interesting to do. And I recently met a very interesting doctor who is from UK, called named Dr. Balu. He is being introduced to me by the director of Wellbeing Center of Sofitel Hotel, and which everybody knows it's a five-star hotel, and Mr. Sumesh. And we are coming up with a project, like the talks are on right now, to do a lot of healing work, to bring the medical aspects and holistic therapy together, and to heal people, like it, for mind, body, soul, and spirit. So we are thinking of not only doing in Dubai, but also in the exotic locations of the world. We take them in the nature, basically. And for 7 to 10 days retreat. They can have all the private time for themselves. We will start with meditation, healing, consultation, counseling, and a lot of things are part of it. It'll be bespoke completely. So I'm very looking forward to it, and that has been very interesting in Dubai journey. Um, and I'll be back to Los Angeles very soon, and I'm looking forward towards the films which I am going to do and the projects which are coming up, and excited. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit of the films which are coming up there, which back I'll be working on. It's in Los Angeles from Go Nuts Films, especially from John Luxethic. And we are doing films in Cafe in Vote, Different Eye, and a film called XYYX, a gender bender experience. It will be completely, so I would not like to reveal too much about it. Then Royal Paradise, which I am producing. Lockhart 2, of David Lockhart, who is the Emmy awarded producer also, and as well as a Hollywood actor. I'm in that film. And besides that, there are more projects which I would not like to reveal the names and let the production house. They have already published it, but I would like to talk a little bit more about the project with them, and then we are going to reveal it more. So I'm very excited for all the projects happening. A lot of projects actually, and a few meetings I had done in Dubai also relatedly, and more projects are coming. I'm very excited about it. But in your next interview, I'm definitely going to reveal the rest of the producers I'll be working with and the films I'm doing back in
So,
LA.
so thank you for joining us. And do you want to say something to our listeners who is actually listening to? We have to wind
Yes.
it up, like you know.
See, I'll tell you. Arun, you have taken a very good initiative on coming up with this channel, mainly on well-being, on wellness of mind, body, and spirit, and meditation. Everyone, I'm suggesting please meditate. Okay, I'll give you a hint on meditation. Is just focus on your breath, because the mind is always chattering. It's a monkey mind. So command your mind. Tell your mind to focus on your breath. Just focus on your breath. And when you breathe in, try to take the breath till your pelvic area, hold it, do belly breathing, and then breathe out. And hold the breath. When you breathe in, stomach out. When breathe, breathe out, stomach in. So that's called belly breathing. So if you want to, join me, please come to my Instagram profile, Dr. KrisTiNA Saikia, LinkedIn KrisTiNA Saikia, Facebook KrisTiNA Saikia, and Twitter KrisTiNA_5. And you can write to me art9mystic@gmail.com. That's it. And you will get more of my courses, retreats, tarot card reading, past life regression healing, lot of stuff. But definitely I would love to come back to your channel, because we can talk a lot on the metaphysical aspects of life, in future episodes.
Thank you for listening to my podcast. You could connect with me in arunsyoga.in, where you could see my contact details, including my phone number, my WhatsApp, and email ID. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes.